me to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News, 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 news. Where'd all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News, 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 news.
Oh boy, you just gotta love that, don't you? The news, news, news. Now, I tested everything with a private stream, so you should be able to hear me. Please indicate in the chat, and you know, I'll I'll just be thrilled to death because, well, I'm okay. I just heard myself. That's why I was stumbling around. Nodak says, I hear you. Thank you, Nodak. Greatly appreciated. All right, let's get this underway. Yes, tonight, Weatherman, a machete, and Cracking the Crack. These stories and more tonight on Nailsin News Live. You see, if I could trust this whole thing, that would be good to do that at the opening and then run the theme song. See? Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm still hearing myself from there. I had to mute that crap. Oh my God. That's embarrassing. All right, so we'll get through these Nailsin news stories, and that'll be great. Of course, down below, if you want to tip old Mr. Nailsin, well, there's PayPal. There's Rumble Rants. I'm not monetized on YouTube. If I ever will be, I don't know. If I am, hey, great. But best of all, and could be fun for you, is Super Tip. So we'll take a look at those, should you care to toss a few towards my way. And oh boy, I recommend the voice tips because they're a lot of fun. Now, there's only two selections, but I'm going to request more. I want to make sure I can figure this out. Yeah. You know what I really want to do? I'm sure I've mentioned this, is I want to send them segments of my characters, Night Night, put those in there. Probably Lefty Turtington and Red Neckerton, throw them in there too. And that might be interesting to be among the selections for Super Tip. Yes, it's almost like Super Chat, except way better. That's right. Okay, let me go ahead and see if I can even really do that. I can, don't worry. I mean, well, the main problem was the audio. How did I fix it? I don't really know. You know, um, but it worked. It's just no matter what I do, I'm going to have to take the time to do a private test video, which is what I did going into this. I got overconfident because a couple of days it was working fine. And then over the weekend, back to being a piece of crap. So that's what happened. Sorry about that. But hey, it's like I said, it's what happened. And Well, I'm still not happy about it, but what are you going to do? Bad things happen. Even to sweet, nice people like me. Yes. Pellel says, hi everyone, and thanks to Nodak. Because Nodak suggests you hit that like button. And he's right. You should. That's what it's there for. All right. Our first contestant for the evening is, as the title says, this will be our weatherman. That's right. A weatherman. Um, who was up to some naughtiness. So we'll take a look at his story, huh? Okay. A former TV weatherman has been arrested for allegedly making a secret sex tape and then threatening to release it, as cops warned he could have more alleged victims. Josh Fitzpatrick. Patrick? I'm sorry. Josh Fitzpatrick. It fits, Patrick? Who worked at 29 News in Charlottesville, Virginia, is accused of secretly filming his accuser during a consensual sexual encounter. God, she agreed to it, and then you pulled this stunt. Yeah, because he was like, man, that video gave me a chubby that went. That's what he told her. Yeah. Anyway, the alleged victim reported the incident in February, telling cops the 42-year-old meteorologist had subsequently extorted and threatened them. This might not be a woman. With the release of the clip, investigators said Fitzpatrick relocated to Ohio shortly after the probe kicked off. Oh, he thought, what, Ohio didn't have an extradition? Anyway, he was nabbed there with the help of Ohio law enforcement on Tuesday. Fitzpatrick was slapped with charges of sexual extortion and unlawful creation of an image of another. Wow. I mean, this is within the context of video and photography, right? I mean, what if he just drew dirty pictures of the other person? Would he be in trouble then too? I mean, police warned the former weatherman. Oh, he no longer in the field, huh? Who is in custody pending his extradition back to Virginia, may have more victims, and urged others to come forward. Well, I mean, once you get a search warrant of his stuff, provided he hasn't successfully destroyed it all, that if you got it on with this guy, odds are he has video of you. You know, for whatever reason, I guess you just didn't have any money, so he didn't bother you with the blackmail. But this particular victim, man, woman, and we don't know. His former employee covered news of his arrest, but stopped short of releasing a statement. Now, come on. It's the responsible thing. Say, hey, you just never know. What do you want from us? Yeah. Anyway, the outlet said he left his position at the TV station in early March, perhaps because he knew the heat was on, and that was the deal. So, yeah, little weatherman felt pressure in the upper level low. And so there you go. That's it for that a-hole. Huh? How about that? So the forecast looks to be some serious jail time. I don't know what the mandatory is. I mean, it varies from state to state, so I don't know how many years he might get for the extortion, in and of that. I don't know if he had just been caught with taking surreptitious images or videos of coworkers and whatnot and that sort of thing. I don't know what that runs. But he went the extra mile and said, if you don't want your family to see this, and interesting, I mean, I understand they protect the identity of victims in these scenarios and whatnot, but them. So, anywho, he's a bad, bad man, and now he's gonna pay the price. Yeah, that's what the forecast says. Look, it's the best I got. All right, come on. All right, back to the chat. Oh, I'm already there. Pell at Nodex, such a barren podcast night until now. Oh, well, I'm glad I could help out. Joe Lamont, I'm in. Joe Lamont says, Night all. Hello, Joe. Oh, Night all? I mean, you've already left? I don't know. Pell I looks like there's going to be a 100% chance of charges. Yeah, see, Pell if I could afford to pay you, you could write the taglines for these stuff. Let's see. Pell says, hey, Joe. Joe says, in for the weird stories. Well, that I can promise you. Yeah, I will deliver on that. Nodak agreed. Thankfully, Doug is here to entertain us. Are you entertained? Are you entertained? Joe Lamont says, hail to Pell. Pladcore, yo, Doug, Pell, and Nodak. So Pladcore says, hey. Oh, and Joe, too. Don't feel left out, Joe. Pell, hey. And everybody's saying hi and salutes. GTSY2, buddies. Okay. Pell, he was caught using his own Doppler to get his location. Is that what he did? He utilized the station's facilities to engage in his criminal behavior. Therefore, his employer is also a victim. Plus, they probably feel they got to clean everything or probably throw it out and replace it because, he touched it. Anyway, Salam Lukes. Hey, Doug. Hope you're well. Glad I could catch a live stream. Well, I'm glad you could, too. Welcome aboard. Cocteau has 2 peace signs. Nodak. Oh, good to see you. Yeah, see, I don't speak letters. Anyway, there we go. So that's it for the Weatherman. Oh, gee, I wonder how that'll turn out. Well, probably not too good because, it shouldn't. Now we have a little update. You know how much I love these stories. It's not much of one, but still, especially when they're cute, And, oh boy, she is. Yeah. Yeah, well, there's another little bent in the story here, kind of like similar to a particular congresswoman. But anyway, we'll get to this one. Lugs, we're gonna get yo, Doug plus pals. Good to be here. Welcome, Lugs. I met Lugs in person when I was in Chattanooga. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Acronyms. Okay. Accused pervert teacher Christina Formella may not work at Downers Grove South High School in suburban Chicago anymore, but she can still be seen in its latest yearbook, not once, but 3 times. Look, she's really photogenic, Formella, who married her high school sweetheart in August, really? I keep forgetting that part. Was arrested in March for raping a teenage student roughly 50 times. I didn't realize it was rough. She surrendered her professional educator license on June 17, according to documents obtained by the Post from the Illinois State Board of Education. Special services. Yes, that was her department. Her services. 50 times. I didn't realize it was rough. She surrendered her professional educator license on June 17, according to documents obtained by the Post from the Illinois State Board of Education. Special services. Yes, that's that was her department. Her services. were special. Well, she's been charged with 55 crimes, including aggravated sexual assault, aggravated criminal sex abuse, and grooming. If convicted, Formella, 30, could be sentenced to 60 years. Damn, what a waste, Yeah. Well, that's against the law, stupid. The school's recently released 2024-25 yearbook features Formella's headshot, as well as group photos showing her posing with the boys' soccer team and JV girls' soccer teams she coached. Formella's husband has stood by her side during court appearances. Well, it's all a lie. Prosecutors have alleged Formella started grooming the victim when he was 14. So I guess he's one of those guys. You see, this isn't going to work. You put her, she's going to coach them. Come on. Well, anyway, that's one of the group shots. There she is. I don't know what that's about. There she is with the girls' team, I guess. Oh, is that her? She looks like she's one of the girls in the team. Seems like, wouldn't that be her as the coach? But it's blurred. But, well, there she is with the team. Investigators allege she raped the teen at least 45 times at the school, where she was a special education teacher. She also raped the boy 5 times at her home during school hours. Boy, how'd she manage that? Formella, who denied assaulting the teen and has claimed she was being blackmailed by her accuser, insisted she was being targeted because she was good looking. And that part is true. I don't think you could find fault with that claim. She's good looking. Gee, I don't know. These girls are good looking too. I don't know. Is that like the legal aids for a lawyer? I don't know. I guess that's the fiance, or they got married, right? So he's the husband now. Well, we'll see. Anyway, the illicit relationship began in January 2023, and the boy ended it in September because his mom found his phone, I seem to recall. A school spokesperson told the Post the printing of the yearbooks began in March prior to the arrest. So, hey, look, it was too late. Even so, Formella was an employee of the school district and so is included in the yearbook, the spokesperson said. So, boy, it's set in stone, apparently, You got a rapist on staff. Hey, at a certain point in time, too bad, that's going to be your yearbook for the rest of your lives. But, as rapists go, well. All right, that's your update on Formella, and what a form she has. But nevertheless, crime's crime, and so that's that. But maybe it's true. Maybe her story will turn out to be. Look, these are crazy times, so maybe this kid concocted this blackmail thing because he's obsessed with her. Gee, I can't imagine why he would be obsessed with his coach. Yeah. And so, we'll keep up with this. There may be further updates down the road. All right. Ain't that nice? Plaid Core says, hey, Lugs, Pell. Oh, wow. Preying on the handicapped. Yeah, I guess that was the deal, but I think he was one of the members of the team. So she was special education, but then she coached the soccer team. A young woman coaching a team of teenaged boys. Anyway, Pat DeRose, did she peg him? Well, then that would come out in trial. I imagine they did say roughly 50 times. So I don't know. Cocteau, her husband is sticking with her. Last I heard, yeah, that was him holding hands with her. And well, look, I know she's really hot, and he's like, I'll never do as good as this, but there's some screws loose, potentially. Remember, all suspects are considered innocent until proven guilty. Now, if this kid's got videos and stuff on his phone, and odds are, yeah. Cocteau, what a donkey. All right. Pell, she is now formally a teacher. Now a convict. Yes. They could sign that in the yearbook. Can you imagine that yearbook? They might even, some of them could put their yearbook on eBay with all the smart ass remarks in it. Plaidcore Hell is laughing out loud. Lugs McGurkin. Meeting Doug was a highlight of the year for me. Really? I was sitting in on the show, so I didn't want to interject too much. Was fighting the urge to grill Doug on various fictional IPs. Gay or cool? Well, that was supposed to be a segment. Is this gay or cool? Well, this last story, I mean, the woman is hot. But, I mean, what? Is her husband standing by her is gay? No, he wants to keep hitting that. So that's not a gay thing to do. It's rather sad and pathetic if it turns out she is indeed guilty, which odds are she is. I mean, it's been a popular trend for decades now, thanks to the late Letourneau. But nevertheless, Luke's McGurkin, gay or cool lightning round. Oh, okay. So afterwards, what? Go through the different stories and say, was this one gay? Well, I could do it one at a time at this point because that one, it's not gay. Unless she gets convicted and goes to prison, she might have to be gay for the stay. And I guess that still counts. Pell, I wonder if these people go back to teach, coach, to continue to get the ass they did in their high school heydays. Well, in her case, I forget her age, but she's not that old. So it's like the range there is pretty close. And boy, she misses that high school atmosphere and stuff, and probably, being the pretty girl and everybody's like looking at her all the time. And oh God, she just misses that. And she wanted to relive it. So yeah, it's probably a lot of that. The rest of it, well, I mean, they're all just screwed up perverts, I mean, what, yeah. Cocteau, in quotes, raped. Well, yes, I see what you mean. Look, we're all men. We're thinking it, If she was your teacher, I can't. No. But look, he was 14. That's pretty young. Still not as bad as Letourneau. That kid was 11. And then there's like all developmental things. And of course, remember, this is like the poor kid is now peaked at 14. He's probably going to end up miserable, become an alcoholic. I was at the top of the mountain. Now look at me. That kind of thing. And before he's even 25. Anyway, Luke's McGurking, the husband or whatever holding her hand. Jeez, I mean, I guess she is attractive. Oh, yes. Yes, she is. But that'll wear off once it really fully and completely dawns on him. And oh my God, the hatred he'll feel for that woman. Lugs McGurkin, I think I'd have to break up out of principle. Don't rape, ladies. Well, again, Lugs, innocent until proven guilty. You understand? So I mean, if this kid, like I said, has photos and videos and all that type of stuff, I mean, the messages were pretty, she's like, oh, he managed to get my phone and type those in back and forth and all this sort of stuff. It's an elaborate plot that this kid's supposed to have done. But I haven't heard that there was any imagery, but if there is, there's more details like that. And he's sitting there supporting his woman in the trial, and he's like, God damn it. And then the kid's like describing their bedroom and stuff, and he's like, son of a bitch. And so, nowadays you can just go, that's all here. Oh, that's AI. Here's an AI image of me having sex with Thanos. Well, yes, there is that too. She could say it's AI. Yeah, they got to come up with a program that can tell you which is AI and which isn't. Probably there's an AI for it. But then they'll say, you going to trust AI? Yeah. No one's going to believe anything ever again. Even if you see it right in front of you. This ain't real. Pell, you just never know. This is why you have to trust the system, although it fails. Well, yeah. No, Nick, all I know is she won't get the max 60 years, maybe 5 or 10. Yeah, probably. I mean, she might get 10 and 5 is what she'll do. Maybe only 4, And if she educates the other prisoners while in there, she might earn some time off there too, contributing, paying back to society. Pell, that was a downer school joke. Well, yes. It is called Downers. Plaidcore probably at LL Pell like a mall of ass they missed in the past. Well, yeah. Pell at Plaidcore. Some people can't let the good old days go. Look at Ric Flair. Still parties like he's in his 20s. Yeah. That's all he knows what to do. Luke's McGurkin, I feel like at 35 I've lost my opportunity to encounter the prime quality predatory cougars. More than likely, yes. 10 years ago, they'd have been like, well, look at you. That kind of thing. Luke's McGurk. Oh, I already read that one. Pell depends on how money her side of the family has for him to stay or go. Oh, that's true. But then, I mean, if there's a significant amount of money in it, I don't know. I just want to teach. I want to be at school, and I love kids, especially boys. And all right, you're hired. That sort of thing. When really, she had daddy's money. But then again, he might have said, "You're going to work for a living," and now she's got a husband, and then of course she'll have a baby, and daddy's going to have to support that some form of fashion, Anyway, Plaidcore at Pell, Ric Flair definitely can't let it go. Did you see when he was running for president with Waka Flocka, like the drama masks? Oh dear God. Nodak, if he sticks with her, she can never nag him about anything around the house. I really wish you'd do a little more around the house. Him just opens the yearbook, points to, and goes, That's true. He can always lord that over her, because like she gets convicted and she gets out in 5 or 4 and he stays with her, well, she'll never know until she gets out, and then he's like, hey, who's the convicted rapist here? Rapist. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, under my thumb, Pell, LOL, no, but I believe it. He's probably going to die in the ring. Oh, Ric Flair, not the husband. Luke's McGurkin, that's a good point, Nodak. He might have found the hack for a peaceful married life. Could be. He's going to actually be able to keep the trousers in that house. Nodak, her, I wish you'd stay in and not go out with your friends. Him, rapist says what? Her what? Him, exactly. See you when I get home. And maybe clean up the kitchen, huh? Anyway, Plaidcore. Yeah, Luke's McGurgan. I'm about 10 years off. I'm about 15 years past my prime cougar getting years. Whores! Yeah, well, as long as they don't teach school, you know. Pell, when teachers are supposed to help raise the kid. Whoops. I gotta do it like this. Pell, when teachers are supposed to help raise the kids, she literally raises the kid. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, he was 14. Plaidcore, it's a funny video. He has no clue the pronunciation of his running mate. Pell. Ric Flair. Well, I mean, does any candidate really need to know their running mate? I mean, yes, the responsible thing is yes, but I mean, Biden didn't know his. Pell, LOL at Nodak. All right, now we will move on from a news story. That was merely an update. Those happen from time to time, especially when I see one of those. Because, I mean, look, she's hot. Probably evil, but she's hot, you know? Yeah, I'm a sad, lonely man. There we go. Oh my God, I'm hit. All right. Dad throws machete at motorcycle driver he thought was daughter's ex-boyfriend killing woman passenger. So there he is. Uh-oh. Jeez, is that his home? What a dump. An apparent misunderstanding involving a motorcycle and a woman who thought she saw her ex-boyfriend ended in a man throwing a machete and killing someone in a quiet Ohio town. Well, not quiet so much now. Kenneth Wayne Brabant, 59, was arrested on charges including murder, tampering with evidence, and assault. He's being detained in the Preble County Jail. All I can say is, I'm sorry, Brabant said in court, according to Dayton-based CBS affiliate Wheel. Please do not get into the facts of your case, the judge reportedly replied. They've heard enough. Anyway, on Sunday night, Leah Huff, 41, was riding as a passenger on a motorcycle on Upper Summers Road in Camden, Ohio. Around the same time, the Preble County Sheriff's Office said they received a non-emergency call from a woman on the 7700 block of that road, complaining that her ex-boyfriend was driving a motorcycle up and down the roadway near her home trying to get her outside. The caller reportedly told the dispatcher her father, Brabant, was also outside. It appears that at this time, Huff's motorcycle came around the road, and Brabant allegedly threw a machete at the vehicle, striking Huff in the leg. Audio testimony shared by Mizix from the unnamed man driving the motorcycle sheds light on the harrowing moment. The guy was coming after us with that thing. I'd seen him coming out of the corner of my eye, and he doing this, and she was like, oh my God. And then I sped up because I knew he had something, the motorcycle driver told law enforcement. And she goes, oh my God, I'm hit. The man reportedly drove to a friend's home to obtain a phone to call for help as the woman was bleeding heavily. But by the time emergency personnel arrived, she was dead. As of Thursday, authorities had not yet discovered whether a separate motorcycle or ex-boyfriend was involved at all. They said neither Huff nor the man she was with knew Brabant or his daughter. We have not been able to corroborate the first report of a motorcycle. Don't know whether that did or did not occur, Preble County Sheriff Mike Simpson told Dayton-based NBC affiliate. Someone made a decision to go to the end of the driveway and confront whomever they thought that was, and it ended tragically. for our victim. But it reported that police told them Brabant's charge of tampering with evidence was because he initially hid the machete before later revealing to them where it was located. I hope it wasn't, Camden, Ohio is located about 40 miles north of Cincinnati. It has a population of approximately 2,000 people. The hell? Is that mustard? Well, anyway, there you go. Just a misunderstanding, And misunderstandings were, always hilarious plot lines on Three's Company. Not so much for this incident. Of course, let's not get too confused here. Even if it was completely accurate that this was his daughter's ex-boyfriend who was like showing off his new girlfriend to her or some such nonsense going on here, and threw the machete and struck the new girlfriend or the ex-boyfriend, what have you, he'd still be in the same jam because you just can't do that. No. All right. I might actually be able to clip that one. Yeah. Yeah. Luke McGurgan says Pence might as well have been a faceless guy in a suit like The Question. What is my name? That is the question. Luke McGurkin, G-Man. Luke McGurkin, he doesn't look suitably bummed out. Yeah, he's upset that he hit the wrong target, because turns out the target wasn't there at all. And he says, this is all an elaborate plot by that bastard who ruined my daughter's life. Oh, well. I still love you, Daddy. I know, baby. Plaidcore looks like the dude if he was homeless. Well, this is the sequel. Luke McGurkin, he looks like he just found out he's out of Marlboros. Oh, man, the things he's going to have to do to get some of those in prison, Pell at Luke McGurkin, LOL. We've got a live long and prosper symbol from Setlick 3. Plaidcore, live long and prosper to you as well, says Plaidcore. Luke says, it's too bad he had to go down like this. He should have been a sword-throwing instructor for our military. I see applications in Space Force operations. Well, yeah, but in space, everything's weightless, so he throws it and it just sort of floats there, and everybody is like, whoa, 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 to get away from it. And he's like, damn it, another one got away. Pat DeRose, do you think he practiced throwing that machete? I guess, because he did hit one of them. I imagine he was aiming for the boyfriend, though, or who he thought was the boyfriend, and got the girl instead. And hit the main artery, I suspect. And holy shit. Oh, boy. Everybody's in a world of hurt now. Great going, Daddy. But it was her idea. So, boy, that daughter is just... You think she's... like, oh, God, I really started this whole thing. I just can't get over my ex. That's all I get. No. Pale Ale, the local American natives in the area referred to him as Hillbilly Scalp'em. Wow. Well, her scalp did survive. Unfortunately, the rest of her didn't. Yeah. Pale Ale, pale face inbred. Well, all right. Yeah, possibly. Plaidcore looked like black and white film makeup. Oh, yeah, the mustard and stuff. Yeah. No, I can't tell if he looks like a disheveled Chris Christopherson. Good choice. Or disheveled Michael McDonald. Again, another good choice. Yeah, I don't know. It could go either way. Plaidcore gives an LOL. Joe Lamont offers Kurt Russell and Michael McDonald DNA mixed. Yeah. Especially Kurt Russell today, Yep. Well. But boy, Kurt Russell's son damn near a dead ringer, almost. You know, there's all this talk about, oh, he could do a remake of The Thing and stuff, and or Escape from New York, and put it, but no. Anyway, Luke McGregor, imagine if he used a sling like David and Goliath. Well, I probably would have gotten both of them, and they would have went flying down the road and all that. Oh, geez. Oh, my God. What a mess. And the guy just like, come on, baby. I want to ride on the motorcycle. And then some crazy old man throws some shit. It's like, boy, it's one of those things that tells you just never know. You just would at least like to hope it's not something as stupid as that, you know, through no fault of their own. They just wanted to ride the motorcycle, you know. People, yeah, what are you going to do? Woman convicted of poisoning retired police chief for months and hiding his body in storage unit. Well, she probably figured, where else was I supposed to put it? The Knox County State's Attorney Office announced June 26th that a judge found Marcy Oglesby guilty of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and aggravated battery by administering a dangerous substance in connection with the death of retired Makwan Police Chief Richard Rick Young. Ogilvy's sentencing hearing is set for September 3rd. According to prosecutors, Oglesby poisoned Young over the course of months from the summer of 2021 until his death on November 1st, 2021. The defendant reportedly hid Young's body in a storage unit across the street from their shared residence. Officials found Young's remains nearly a year later, on October 7th, 2022, in an advanced state of decomposition. Young was reportedly known in his community as Rick the Cop. The state's attorney's office noted that he was a devoted public servant, and his compassion extended beyond his badge. Prosecutors said whether it was a neighbor in need, a family member, or a stray animal, Rick was always willing to lend a hand. Jeez. And he ended up with that. Good. I mean, does it need to be said? I mean, looking at her mugshot, the poor guy had suffered enough. What a bitch, you know? I mean, the poisoning, obviously, he suffered a long time before he finally died. I guess not a lot of details in the article. I'm assuming there was probably some life insurance policy. It doesn't say they were married, but still could have had one. Whatever. You could have just said, I don't want to be with you no more. Get out. Or, oh, that's it. But then again, I don't know. Did he leave her the property or anything? You know, that's another thing. I mean, once he's gone, I don't know. He's got any kids or any other relatives, they'd probably take it. She's just an evil old bag, you know? Evil old bitch. Don't let the grandma looks fool you. Don't do that. All right, I went too long on that. But anyway, you get the idea. That's it for that old bag of shit and bones. That's what you call that. Oh, yeah. Oh, Pell, that goddamn bike making too much racket. I can't hear the TV. It could have just been that. And then the daughter, oh, I got to make a story. But no, she called the police earlier because she really thought it was a boyfriend. So, you know. But he probably hated the noise, too. Yeah, motorcycles can be annoying, you know. Luke's McGurkin, the slow poisoning shit is always so crazy to me. Particular type of sadism. Yeah. It's just, look, it was nothing personal. I just really wanted him gone. No, you sick cow. Well, I shouldn't say that. That was wrong, and I apologize. A cow is a majestic beast. Doesn't deserve to be compared to that sack of shit. Pale Ale Oglesby sounds like a name popular in the 18. Yeah, I know, Oglesby. She grew into her name. Lugs McGurkin, it's never one and done with these types. They want to see their victim weaken slowly. Yeah, the anticipation must have been really, she's like, any day now. Plaid Core, Marcy looks like Gilly in 15. Yeah, well, I know. Pale the name fits the face. It does. You know, one wonders, what she looked like in her earlier years. And like, I can't believe my name's Oglesby. Maybe that's what turned her into the dark creature she became, Nodak, whoa, buddy. Luke McGurkin, he's most assuredly in a better place since he was in the relationship. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you. But then again, God, what if he's, he felt for her like that husband of the, the kid raper. I don't know. Plaid Core says, LOL, Pell Oglesby in jail for the rest of her life. Well, let's hope so sometimes. Hey, come on, she's old and stuff. Joe Lamont, she looks like an evil Gene Wilder transitioning. That's Frankenstein. Plaid Core, ha, Joe Lamont. Luke's McGurking. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Yeah. Now I got to switch to my RC Cola. That's good RC. Really puts the C in RC. By the way, tonight's program brought to you by RC. It's keeping me going. All right, what's our next contestant? Another one who disposed of the body in a unique and it's never really clever, But anyway. Woman who stuffed stabbing victim's body in a futon is captured across the Atlantic. Wow, this takes us into an international story, so to speak. Yeah. So there we go. A suspect was arrested months after a woman's body was found stuffed in a futon inside her Philadelphia apartment. What the futon? Gurelis, maybe? Jurelis? Sanchez Reyes, 28, was arrested in Madrid, Spain, according to the U.S. Marshal Service, and will be extradited back to the U.S. It appears that she will be charged with murder. Well, that usually happens when you got a body stuffed in a futon. The body of, and I apologize, I'm going to mess this up, Ulysses? Carolina Torres Martinez, 21, was found in the early morning hours of April 5th. The Philadelphia Police Department said Martinez's friends contacted them because they had not heard from her in several days. When officers secured a search warrant and arrived at Martinez's apartment on the 4400 block of Frankfurt Avenue in the northeast region of the city, they found her body wrapped in a shower curtain inside a futon. She had multiple stab wounds to her neck and torso, which were likely the cause of death. Sanchez Reyes was announced as a suspect just days later on April 12th, with police securing an arrest warrant for her and asking the public for any information as to where she may be. The U.S. Marshals Service's Philadelphia branch announced her arrest on Thursday. Martinez's family told Wacao that she had been living in Philadelphia for less than a year, working as a waitress. Angel Cordona, a local business owner, said she was a customer of his? Oh, yeah. And he would see her around every now and then. She came in about a year ago to purchase furniture for her apartment. Oh, my God. Don't tell me it was the futon. Oh, geez. It's very tragic and mind-blowing. It's very unfortunate that happened. You mean the murder, not the purchase, I guess. Anyway, she's obviously a young lady, 21 years old, just starting out in life. And it's a shame. It really is. My heart and prayers go out to her family, her friends, everybody that knew her. It's unclear if or how the victim and Sanchez Reyes knew each other, nor is it clear whether the suspect had connections in Spain or fled there for another reason. I don't know. I guess she spoke the language or something. Or she said, you know what? I always wanted to go, and now I got a good reason to go. And that's what she did. But she forgot to check. Hey, does Spain have an extradition policy or treaty with the United States? Yes, gorillas. They do. Yeah, what the futon indeed. Man, if it is like she had recently purchased it, it was brand new almost. Man, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna read some more chat. No, it's what I gotta do. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Luke's McGurking. If I was being fed poison, I would simply refuse to eat it. Yes, provided you didn't know it was poison. A lot of times they mix it in with stuff, you know. They don't just say, hey, why don't you drink this Drano? You know, Luke's McGurking, problem solved. How foolish of him. Yeah. He should have known better, but he just sat there and drank it for days. Plaidcore RC reminds me of Fago. Now I want some Fago root beer. Never heard of it. No, Doug, you're skipping the biggest story on that website. Internet for $19.99 a month. What a deal. Damn it. And already, it's still there. Oh my God. Oh, geez. Well, there's the faceless CPAP. Here, let me put it back on here. Yeah, the faceless CPAP. I have a CPAP, but it's the full mask. I don't know. The one that you just shove in your nose. But, to each their own. Damn it. Where's this deal? Is it down here? It usually is in the... What's her story? Woman told elderly mom, this is for the best, as she held her wrists while son allegedly strangled her with Dollar Tree handbag strap. Good God. After all that, the betrayal, the corruption of your own son, and it's your own mother, and you do it with a cheap Dollar Tree handbag. I mean, the final insult. Oh, God, I passed right by it. There it is. Oh, now it's gone. Damn it. What am I going to do? Deals like that, they don't just come every day. They don't, right? Oh, damn it. Oh, God. Well, despite my sudden wave of depression and hopelessness, I'll continue on because I'm that dedicated to you, my audience. I hope you remember this. Parallel Circumstance sounds like the set of a Tarantino movie. Maybe so. Yeah. But isn't he done making movies now? I mean, I guess he can produce some or maybe write a script or two. But he says he's not going to direct anymore. I think he's already done he's got one more to do, right? Anyway, I forget. Plaidcore double LOL. Saint Ranger's here and says, hi, everyone. Hi, Saint Ranger. Again, thanks for that Rumble rant from earlier. That was nice. Thank you, Saint Ranger. Plaidcore says hi. Saint Ranger says hi back. Joe Lamont says, Amber Turd lives in Spain. So, oh, goodness. So there might be like I don't know, a commune of ladies who understand one another. Of course, this woman killed another woman. I mean, unless, they had a thing going or something. I don't know. Or she wanted the woman's boyfriend, but then she ran to Spain. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say she wanted the futon. She didn't seem to care about that. So it's a mystery. Maybe it'll get another update and we'll see what the hell that was all about. Anyway, DJ Play Nice says, good evening. Well, good evening, DJ Play Nice. I guess imagining putting the body and futon in the box and trying to get a refund. Yeah. Luke's McGurkin Fago is the drink of choice for juggalos, the insane clown posse fans. I don't really understand why, but it's a tasty sody pop. All right, then. Pledcore, they are both Detroit-based, says to Luke's. Luke says, that makes sense. Pledcore says, yeppers. DJ Play Nice. Luke's McGurkin from wrestling in a kiddie pool of it at Luke's. Pledcore, good eve, DJ Play Nice. Pledcore says, glad YouTube reverted to not having to use the act. Okay. Emojis I don't know anything about. Anywho, all right. That was kind of the segue story for international stories. And I have 1, 2. Okay, 2. This will take us overseas. But turns out they have crimes and news stories there too. So, this involves a murder. Can you guess who the perpetrator is and who the victim is? Yeah. A former Beauty and the Geek Australia star was found in a catatonic state after she allegedly dismembered her partner in their South Australia home. So I know, you look at the picture and he almost, like, yeah. And then this is your damsel in distress. Oh my God, she was so young and beautiful and struck down in the prime of her life. No, it's the exact opposite. Yeah. Cut him up in pieces. Yeah. Anyway, on June 19th, a neighbor confronted 34-year-old model Tamika Chesser, who was known for her appearance on the 2010 reality show Beauty and the Geek, about smoke coming from her apartment. The neighbor told police he saw the accused and asked what she was doing. The accused said nothing. Did she literally say nothing, or you mean she was silent? And then took her dogs for a walk and locked the front door. The neighbor was concerned the fire would spread and entered the apartment. He used multiple buckets of water to extinguish a bundle of burning clothing rags and debris before contacting firefighters who called for police after discovering human remains. Oh, boy. Police discovered the severely burned remains of 39-year-old Julian Story. Mr. Story. Court documents revealed Chesser was found. Was seated in a garden chair in the rear yard adjacent to Unit 3 in a catatonic and unresponsive state. Oh, wow. Chesser was charged with murder on June 26th and is currently being held in police custody at a mental health facility in Adelaide. We know that after this alleged murder, Julian's body was dismembered, and while I won't provide any further details about that at this time, I can tragically say that we have not recovered the head of Julian's Story. Oh, dear God, said Detective Superintendent Darren Filkey. It is crucial that we locate Julian's head so that his family has the opportunity to lay him to rest, the detective added. As search teams continue efforts to recover the missing remains. What the hell? So I guess that's the image of her walking her dog. Or dogs. It doesn't. look like she has anything that could carry the head. What the jeez. It does it do the sound? Does it have ghosts? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Damn it. I don't know that you can hear it.
Her dog in one hand and what looks like a jerry can in the other. Police
Yeah, that's
claim this
her.
is Tamika Chesser, seemingly on
She
a
does
morning
have a
walk.
bag.
But around 3 hours later, they say they uncovered her alleged sinister crimes.
Good
It's my
Lord.
sister, but
Yeah.
that's not who she is.
Oh, it's her.
Or the Tamika we know. That's
Well,
not
yeah.
the Tamika anyone knows.
Watching
So,
from Queensland, her
demonic
distraught
possession,
family was
I
shocked
guess.
to learn of the allegations
Oh, there-
against
oh,
Tamika,
she shaved
the
her
former
head.
Beauty and the Geek contestant, allegedly
Jeez
setting
Louise.
fire to Gillian Story's remains inside their Port Lincoln
Uh-huh.
unit. 2 days after, she
Oh,
allegedly
good Lord.
killed him and dismembered his body.
Oh,
Her
geez.
sister says in the months before, she had concerns for her mental health.
Okay, she's growing
It
a
just
beard.
started
No,
getting
wait.
worse, and she
Yeah.
started being in and out of mental health.
Oh,
And
boy.
She didn't mention anything, and she just told everyone that she loves them.
Chesser
Well-
remains in police custody at a mental
Oh,
health
boy.
facility in Adelaide. Her family
wow.
restricted from talking with her.
Jeez.
We can't have contact with her. She's still
Uh-huh.
unresponsive at the moment.
Detectives still haven't been able to formally interview
probably
the
in that
34-year-old as
bag.
they continue their search
Oh,
for
man.
Gillian's missing remains in
Oh,
Port Lincoln.
days.
Today, police divers sifted through the shallows along the foreshore in a grim
So
search
it's
for
could be out
Gillian's
there
head.
somewhere.
It is very sad, and I'm really sorry
yes.
to Julian's family.
Despite these extensive searches, Gillian's remains still haven't been found, but the search won't stop, with investigators determined to bring closure to his family. Keziah Sullivan, 9 News.
Thanks, Kazai. Well, odds are the remains remain missing. I just don't think they'll find it. If she threw it out there, there's a strong tide, and I don't know, are there any sharks, maybe? God, what is that? It's always the case with that. They gotta put the pieces in trash bags and everything. Well, there's just no good way to handle that. But boy, you could really see the signs there. Boy, she's a beautiful woman, and yet she shaves her head. And I guess the catatonic state is perhaps real, since she sure was acting out and everything. But there again, another guy who was hopelessly in love with absolutely batshit crazy, and it cost him his life. And what else is there to say? All right, that's it for that one. It is indeed. Everybody's saying hi to one another. Joe Lamont says, update. Amber Turd's turd was found on the futon. DNA confirms. Good Lord. Amber. Will she never learn? Pell, oh, wow. Lots going on here. Yeah, that one. Luke McGargan, I was going to say, perps, Africans, or Muslims, and then victim is someone white. Shame on. Well, yes. You stop using that broad brush, Luke. Joe Lamont, Amber Turd also, that's right, she did live in Australia. Holy, well, crap. Luke McGurkin, there's a whole world of crime my racism has blinded me to. I'm afraid so, Luke. I'm afraid so. Luke McGurkin, murder most foul. Well, yeah. God. Yeah, best left unsaid. Luke McGurkin, murder unpleasant in the extreme. Now, Luke, you're only repeating yourself. Don't think you're fooling anyone by just swapping out words. Plan Corps Australia almost kicked that bitch out for bringing her bitch. Joe Lamont. Oh, you mean the dog? Yeah. Maybe that's what set her off, you know. How can we live in a world that doesn't appreciate my bitch? Nodak, we hear it. Oh, good. Yeah, I wasn't sure you did. Joe Lamont, what catatonic and unresponsive state in Australia was the person found? Wait, the dingo stole the head. Oh, God. Now, that's not out of the realm of possibility. You know? Holy crap, what a mess. You know, they're out there in their wetsuits, kicking the water around. You think it's in? I don't know. And apparently there's only so much footage of her walking around with that bag. It's in that bag. And or it was. Hell, it never is the person they quote unquote know. Yeah. You think you know. You think you do. He didn't. Poor guy. Saint Ranger, stay armed, I guess. Psychos are everywhere and more numerous these days. That's true. That's true. Of course, you know, imagine the heap of trouble he'd be in if she started attacking him, you know. And then he shot her. And he's like, look, she was going to kill me and cut me up in pieces. A likely story. Well, anyway, Plan Corps' second protects lives and the first. Oh, it does indeed. Nodex. So I'm guessing she was one of the geeks. Little did they know. They probably thought, hey, she'll be the hot girl that all the nerds drool over, you know. But there's a price to pay. Lugs McGurkin, do you think if you have an Aussie girlfriend, you get used to the hilarious accent? Well, normally I would say, boy, if they look like her, then it's like. So, you know, it depends. Look, I'm sure there's some normal, sweet Australian ladies. You know, we can't judge them all by this crazy catatonic bitch and Amber Turd, you know? St. Ranger, now new meaning to the job title, Bagman. Well, I wonder why she, you know, of course, she's crazy. You can't explain it. You know, the rest of the body's in the house. So, oh, that's too much stuff. I'll just take his head. I don't know. But she's not talking at the moment. Pell, there's a shark blindly swimming around with a Julian head. Yeah, probably so. Lugs McGurkin, gentlemen, this is democracy. Oh, democracy manifest. Plaid Corn, I feel bad for the shark. He looked bony. Well, okay. St. Ranger, Amber Turd's Turd is going to be the next Weird Al song, allegedly. It should be. I mean, it's kind of late now, huh? Nah, that story's never going to get old. You're famous now, Amber. Congratulations. Plaid Corps waiting for that release. But to what tune? Yeah, I don't know. Amber Turd's Turd. Lady Madonna, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, that brings us to our next story. Oh, yeah, it's in Poland. Yep. Another international news, story. Don't always do these, it's kind of special and important. Oh, stupid, you got to put it on the screen. There we go. There we go. Thanks to Paul Joseph Watson's site, Okay, there's the picture. You get the idea. 2, count them. 1, 2, naked men, later identified as Ethiopian nationals, were found running through the streets of Lubin, Poland. Lubin, Poland? Lubin. Lovin'. Early last Saturday morning, prompting a police investigation, the two men were spotted near Lanika Street and Przemysłowa Street with visible markings on their wrists, indicating they had been previously restrained. Oh. Footage recorded by local residents soon went viral, showing the pair emerging from a wooded area before running through traffic and eventually lying on the roadside. Oh, wow, look at this hot AI girl. And now back to this. Sorry. Yeah. Well, anyway, Lublin is about a 100-kilometer drive into Poland from the German border. All right. According to Sylwia Serafin, press officer for the district police headquarters in Lublin, officers were dispatched after a call came in shortly after 5 a.m. on June 14th. We received information about two men without clothes. That's right. They were naked, running near the railway crossing the Lanika Street in Lubin, she said, as cited by Lubin PL. The Prevention Patrol didn't prevent, the nudity. Anyway, which immediately went to the site, confirmed this fact. They called back, yep, they're naked. The men were, again, without clothes. They did not have documents with them. Well, if they did you really want to retrieve it? The others called an ambulance at the same time. They determined that the men were Ethiopian citizens in accordance with the applicable regulations. An expert translator was appointed in the language used by both men. Well, that makes sense. With the help of an interpreter, the police interviewed the men. They did not report that anyone had done them any harm or that they had been victims of any crime, she said. The men were subsequently handed over to the border guard. Police officers are explaining the circumstances of this incident. Due to the ongoing proceedings, we do not provide detailed information. Well, I'm guessing they got in the country illegally and were smuggled in, probably being held till the smugglers were paid and they broke free, and are absolutely terrified to name their tormentors. But when you advertise open borders in Europe, you can expect this sort of thing. We got a dose of that for a while, but oh boy, we took care of that. We sure did. We got somebody who understands how to deal with that sort of nonsense. And, well, perhaps we won't have naked men who are restrained in strange places running through the street. Now, we'll still get naked men, but at least odds are they'll be homegrown American naked men. Anyhow, there we go. There's our international stories, and I'm sure you're very grateful that I gave you that information, because without me, you might never have known. Luke's McGurkin, one time I spitted a girl, or spited a girl, and then she took a dump in my bathroom and left some poo on the seat. Good God. You see, that's demonic. Sure sign of demon possession. Probably true of the girl who dismembered the guy, in Australia. They can always say, well, she got possessed by the devil. We should have paid attention when she shaved her head like that, but, well, we didn't. Lugs McGurkin like a cat that doesn't like, yes, that's true. Very meow meow, however, Cat says, I don't like you. What do you think of that? Well, I don't like that. Good. No, that could Amber Heard's turd be to the bird is the words on? Oh, good Lord, that's right. Turd, Amber Turd's turd. It's the turd, Amber Turd's turd. Don't you know about the turd? Johnny Depp knows about the turd. Yeah, something like that. St. Ranger in Hitchcock's rear window. The killer, Raymond Burr. Yeah, I know. When arrested, had the body parts everywhere, but the wife's head in a hat box in their apartment. See, he did the exact opposite. He saved the head for last, whereas this girl just decided head first, you know? I wonder if he learned that from Perry Mason or something. Anyway, Lugs McGurkin Sylvia Seraphin sounds like a ridiculous Dungeons and Dragons name. Yeah. That's what they sound like. Plantcore would be funny if Perry Mason played the defense attorney in Rear or it's Perry Mason and he represents himself. I forget where it was from. Well, anyway, it's time to end on a lighter note. A lot of these stories are very disturbing. They're horrible. People, through no fault of their own, lost their lives, and you've got family members in a world of hurt and hell because they'll never speak to their loved ones again. It's all horrible. Not the least of which the absurd elements of the crimes here and all that. This makes it all the more worse. So I gotta pick one. I tried to. That doesn't have to end on such horrific nature as that. Even though some elements of this story are just downright nasty, but it happens all the time. So here we go. Good old smoking gun tends to provide these, you know. They're not as frequent as I would like. So I need more weirdos to do crazy shit. You know, come on, weirdos. It's your job. Get weird. Stab victim's secret stash was stumbled upon during surgery. I wonder what it could be. A Florida man, of course, who cops believe was stabbed in a drug dispute, was in surgery when a nurse discovered a glass crack pipe, a lighter, and tinfoil containing cocaine in his rectum. He's like, yeah, what of it? The surprising find is it, I mean, you know, occurred earlier this month at St. Petersburg's Bayfront Hospital, where Michael O'Neill, 43, had been transported for a knife wound. While in surgery, an RN located the stashed items. After being hospitalized for his injuries, O'Neill was booked into jail for cocaine possession. Turns out that's a felony. And possession of drug paraphernalia, a misdemeanor. I wonder if now his crack is also considered drug paraphernalia, you know. O'Neill was released from custody after posting $5,500 bond. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges. I didn't put it there. I don't know how that got there. Over the last few years, O'Neill has been convicted of DUI and numerous drug-related counts, including possession of cocaine. There's a pattern here. Methamphetamine, fentanyl, and narcotics paraphernalia. Boy, this guy has a hobby. O'Neill pled guilty last year to drug possession after a jail strip search turned up 2 baggies containing fentanyl and crack rocks hidden in his ass. You know, crack in the crack. You know? Yeah. You know, after the first time, you would think, it's like, well, that's just not a good hiding place. They did it again. All right, there you go. That's it for Nailsin News. Live. Yeah. So, all right. Why am I doing it like that? No, not that. Well, there, that's the button, so I can see it. Would be funny. Yeah, I read that one. Luke's McGurkin, one thing I've heard about the rare female serial killers is that it's very uncommon for them to mutilate bodies, whereas almost all male serial killers do it. Yeah, that's true. You know, sometimes there's like when there's a man and woman team killing, they'll join in on that. But yeah, because there's been a few serial killers, and a lot of them, for whatever reason, they don't like. Sometimes they'll classify them as the Black Widows. They'll some poor bastard, some lonely old man, probably in his 50s, hooked on RC cola, and she, shakes her ass in front of him, and he's like, blah, 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 marries her, and next thing you know, he's, I'm feeling sick. Slowly dies from the poison, and then she gets all this shit. Cashes out, no, I'm alone, and does it to another guy. These sort of things happen. And then eventually it gets caught. That's a serial killer, but they don't ever really refer to it as. But that's one of the common female serial killers, and utilizing poison, which is just slow torture. You bitch. The others, they're just killers. Half the time they don't really get anything out of it except for the thrill of the kill. And then there's the demon-possessed bitches like the Australian girl. Yeah, what are you going to do? I don't know. I mean, if your girlfriend just suddenly shaves her head and she's not sick or anything or has lice, it could happen. Then you're like, whoa. But I love her, and I know. Well, Joe Lamont at Bladgar, he could have played Stewart's role too. Ironside experience. Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Well, not at the time, though. That was in his future. Pellel, Florida man, saying, well, yeah, that's always the case. Good. What would I do without Florida people, Something about the vicinity of the Bermuda Triangle does something to Florida. Bladcore, totes, LOL. Well, this was the tote bag. And Nodak, Luke's McGurkin. Not all of us do the oops. I've said too much. Never mind. Well, sometimes I really have to. I've engaged in some horrific humor in recent times. It's out there. And I already regret it. Blandcore, at least he'll have a wallet in jail. They all do. Pellel, crack found in the crack. Yeah, that's probably a New York Post headline at some point, wasn't it? It's got to be. Saint Ranger, a puff. No, dude, I have moo on. You can keep that one in your secret pocket. More like poo on. Joe Lamont, why was the nurse rummaging around back up there? Hey, that's a good point. I don't know. I mean, was he stabbed close to his ass? Maybe the perpetrator was trying to find the crack. I know you got it. Stab, stab. You couldn't find it, I don't know. It could be something of that nature. Or the police said, why don't you look in there and see what you find? And then she's like, hey, can I, shove my hand up your ass? And he's like, well, yes. Because maybe she was cute and he's into that kind of crap. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, what's this? Damn it. Damn it. I have a problem. You sure do. A. Thompson is here to finally tell me the audio's good. Thank God. Can you imagine? We don't have to imagine. I've done a whole show not realizing there was no audio. Oh, I've done multiple shows like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I deleted all of them. Yeah, don't go looking. Come on. St. Ranger, I'm still laughing. Well, good. The video's good. Oh, good. Thank God. I've yet to do a show where there's no video at all. Although there I have done, and some of those are still up, where I didn't realize that the screen, it was showing a previous screenshot that I thought was being shown while I'm reading crap, one of the comic book shows. And then I come back, that was great. And then shit. It's terrible. Which reminds me, I got to do Wednesday comics. That'll be out later on. Well, today it's morning. Yeah. Hopefully that won't go awry. And I got to tape New York City post stories. Yeah. Well, I'm already dressed up for it, so I can do that. So, Pell looks like the guy got a duh charge from God. Yeah, there's plenty of those around, especially in Florida. Hey, Thompson, Doug, have you ever smoked crack? No. No, I have not. No, Nick, there might be a super tip. I'm just guessing. Oh, yeah, the super tips. And this is where I got to switch over. Yeah. And, it still lets me look at the chat. All right, I'll go through the chat, and then we'll check out super tips. I was going to check it, honest. Pell should not. St. Ranger, haha. Hey, Thompson, Doug, someone in Idaho killing firefighters made the news here. I know, it was a big story, and I usually go for the obscure, weird crap. Could have done it. I've seen the picture of the guy who did it and did himself in and all that. Weird story. Some bizarre story about he had a violent father, and the mother saying, he's getting crazy. I don't know. And apparently the guy wanted to be a firefighter. So I don't know. He was jealous of actual firefighters. Who the hell knows? Weird crap. The other story is Kohlberger got a plea deal, even though sounds like they pretty much had him dead to rights, but you never know. You could have one nutty juror, and there goes the case. I guess they decided to do that. I don't know. Luke McGurkin, the crack world has changed. It's all about criminals and mental illness now. Whatever happened to having a nice, relaxing smoke of crack? I don't know. They get bored and want to shoot stuff and shit. St. Ranger says audio is excellent. Oh, thank God. Because, sometimes this EV Mux screws me over and I don't realize the audio's off. And sometimes I forget to check, which is irresponsible. And I have done several shows all the way through only to discover it was all muted. And I am just pissed when that happens. I know, shocking. Nobody knows this has happened. But it did. Plaidcore seems like she was into that kind of crap. First thing she does, I'm going to spread your ass and look inside it. Luke McGurkin, audio and video both came through at the same time, synchronized. It's incredible. I know, technology and everything. I'll never figure it out. Plaidcore, hashtag no. Doug as he breathes heavily through the nose. Like that. Plaid cow powder over Ready Rock. No, there's been no Coke except Coca-Cola. There's been there's been drugs, but they were all prescribed by a doctor. And Nodak Lugs. Also, it's in color. Oh my God, I'm so glad to hear that because, as of yet, all the shows have been in color. So that'll be the next thing. I'll do one, and it looks like perfect color for me right here in EV Mux, And then I'll go back and look and like, what the hell is this? And it's got all kinds of distortions in it and everything from old TV. What? But no, it's in color. Luke's McGurkin Nailsin color. Might have to trademark that. But I don't really own any patents on any visual color things. I need to think about that. And it would only be mine. You can't use it without paying me. Then no one uses it, Joe Lamont, are those Israel/Iran missiles on the right screen? The right screen. You mean this? This is my microphone. I can see it kind of like it's a missile getting ready to launch. So maybe. I don't know what the little suppressor thing would be. I guess that's like the satellite dish. Aim it right there. Could be. Luke's McGurkin. Doug, does your doctor give you anything you can party with? All my parents have are sleep aids, antipsychotics, and blood thinners. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I ever get. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't care for any of it, you know? Oh, that's right. I don't have any more stories, but there will be more. Oh, you know there will. And won't that be fun? We got stories, we got tales. Won't that be fun? Okay, no dag for $5. Well, let's see how this turns out. I hope it works. Oh, wait, I better make damn sure. Yeah, there it is. All righty. Okie dokie.
Well, I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the music. Say the ladies are insane there and they sure know how to use it. They don't abuse it. Never going to lose it. I can't refuse it. Uh-oh. A crazy bitch stabbed me to death and shoved me into a futon. This super tip is brought to you by RC Cola. The drink that stands out from the crowd, that's RC Cola.
Yes, RC Cola is a proud sponsor. Now, where did I put the bottle? I thought I had it. Damn it. This is embarrassing. Well, at least the audio worked, the video worked, and the super tip worked. It did, didn't it? Oh, my goodness. Thanks, Nodak. Much appreciated. Yeah, that's, well, I was going to say it, but I'm not. Pele, on the back to your left on the screen, Doug, looks like missiles or galaxies. Oh, that thing back there. Yeah, this thing here. It's just supposed to be this window out. I don't know, space. I always thought it was UFOs or something. But yeah, that could be like the night vision showing the missiles firing, you know, and you're like, oh shit. Depending on which way it's going. Is it being fired away? Well, we're good. If it's coming towards us, well. But don't worry, I'm in the bunker. I'm fine. On the back, yeah, okay. A. Thompson, Doug parties with Ozembic. It's no party. Lugs McGurkin, I think the crime stories will stop now, and an era of perfect peace will grace us on it. Now, what am I going to do with that? Luke's McGurkin, sorry for the bad news. I'm sure you'll find a new beat in no time. Plaid course, Pat went to Spain. Yes, he did. LOL. A. Thompson, Doug is looking good. He didn't get the Ozembic face. I know. Isn't that strange? St. Ranger says a funny message. It was. Luke's McGurkin. Is that a thing? It is now. The Ozembic face? Yeah. You seen that? A lot of these people, they shrivel up like prunes. Joe Lamont at Nodak, good ones. Luke's McGurkin, is that what happened to Kevin Smith? Yeah, I don't know. Was Ozembic on the market at the time? Because he had that heart attack, and he damn near died from it. And then he dropped the pounds. A lot of times, the fear of God like that will do that to you. And managed to keep it off. Maybe to help with that, if he was gaining any back, it took some Ozempic. I don't know. But the thing about Ozempic, my word of advice, unless you have diabetes and you just can't get the numbers under control, the sugar, then okay. And talk to your doctor. But as far as these people using it just to lose weight, I don't think that's a good idea. And who knows? This crap could kill me. I don't know. But It's either that or the diabetes, one way or another. Yeah. Hey, Thompson, Ozempic is working for Doug. He looks good. No home. Oh, I have a home. I know. No, that Kevin Smith has too much crying face. Yeah, that's the thing. Is that what it did? Oh, geez, I'm just going to become an emotional wreck. Oh, God. Why? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I did that. I'm so sorry I did that in front of you. See, it starts all over again. Yeah, Luke's McGurking. They're giving me Crypt Keeper vibes. Yeah, eventually, that's where it ends up, one way or another. Hey, Thompson, if you had taken Ozempic when you were pre-diabetes, would it have prevented diabetes? Yeah, possibly. You know, it depends. I mean, a lot of times I'm still tempted to just gorge on sugary shit. So it's like the idea is like an appetite suppressant. And sort of, but I haven't, I mean, you know, I don't know. But boy, I tell you, main thing is like the sugar numbers are pretty much excellent. Yeah. Anyway, hey, Thompson, Google Ozempic face. Doug did not get it. Ray Schneider. Hey, Ray. Welcome aboard. Did you get to see any of those fun crime stories that I regaled the audience with? Ray Schneider's Ozempic is causing gallstones. Well, thank God I no longer have a gallbladder. Unlike kidney stones, the gallbladder is so small it has to be removed. Yeah, I got rid of that thing. Yeah, I had gallstones in there plenty. Thought I was dying of a heart attack when that thing hit. Oh, dear God, the pain. Holy crap, that was bad. And I've had some pain in my life. Oh, let me tell you. And, but I was glad to get that cut out of me. And it was. No, I didn't keep it. What am I going to do with that? Well, you could have had it in a jar, formaldehyde, or maybe preserved in amber. Not amber turd. Plaid cord, good cue. Joe Lamont at Lugs McGurkin. John Goodman got thin too. He did. I think it was the Ozempic for him. Now he's probably diabetic too. You know, that's the thing. Look, if you're diabetic, all right, give it a shot. You just like, oh, I'm fat and I don't want to work out. Well, Lugs McGurkin at Joe Lamont. Ew. Lugs McGurkin. No. Hey, Thompson, you know what else prevents diabetes? Crack. Oh, damn it. Yeah, but I don't want to shove that up my ass. I didn't realize that's how you use that stuff. I thought they smoked it, but apparently you have to keep it up your ass. I guess that's why it's called crack. Well, I don't want crack in my crack. Plaid cord, Goodman looks like he just got out of a coffin. Well, yeah, you know. I mean, you see, the truth is, we're all headed there. Yeah. Nodak, what's everyone's glucose numbers? Are we turning into that chat again? LOL. I guess. Look, it's going to happen. I'm diabetic. Anyway, hey, Thompson, Nancy Reagan told me not to smoke crack, so I never tried it. Look at Nancy Reagan now. Good point. Yeah. Nancy? Nancy, mommy, we need to smoke crack. Joe Lamont at Lugs McGurkin, wait till you see how thin Barney has gotten. Barney the dinosaur? I love you. You love me. Lugs McGurkin. Hey, Thompson, wait, isn't obesity the cause of type 2 diabetes? Yes. Plaidcore boofing it up. Hey, Thompson, boofing crack is not ideal. Especially, I mean, imagine the embarrassment when you're caught, and you will be. But then again, also imagine the discomfort. Unless, you're into that. I don't know. When they let one rip, hey man, you got some rocks? Yeah, hang on a minute. Here you go. But then again, I think I have a problem. I'm a serious addict when you got to have something out of a man's ass. Joe Lamont. If they had Ozempic in 1977, Elvis would be 85 and singing the Chandelier song. He had a lot more going on than all that. Plaid Car Barney is skinny from teaching fuck yoga. Fuck yoga. That's a different kind of yoga, I suppose. You do yoga while fucking? I can see that. Hey, Thompson, a little Coke never hurt anyone. Well, Coca-Cola is one of the things that contributed to my diabetes. So, yes, it does hurt. Well, anywho, there we go. I think we've learned a lot. If your hot girlfriend starts shaving her head, get a gun. And once you've had several pictures of your hot school teacher rapist, she's going to be in the yearbook. There's a law. You can't get rid of her. And, oh, God, what? Spain will extradite women who murder other women and shove them into futons. Damn it. There was something else. I mean, cracking the crack, we already knew that. Well, those are a couple of things. Oh, the machete. If you're going to throw a machete at somebody, make sure it's the somebody you want to throw it at. It's still illegal. You're still going to prison and everything, but at least you'll have the satisfaction that you killed the person you wanted to kill instead of some poor woman who was just thought she was going to have fun on her boyfriend's motorcycle. Plaid Core Sands, Mrs. Houston. Lugs McGurkin, I might make an Elvis burger in honor of the king. You mean with the fried peanut butter and bananas and stuff? A. Thompson, I'm not sure what you call it now. Oxy-IR killed Elvis. Shut down his digestive tract, and he was stopped up with 45 pounds of shit. Died on the toilet. Yeah, quite the impacted stool. He was like, I guess his heart exploded, Plaidgar Houston, A. Thompson, and teacher stores. They have stores of them now. Nodak, Mrs. Ogilvy poisoning. Oh, yeah, we learned a lot. Just because she's an old grandma-looking lady doesn't mean she's sweet and nice. She's a disgusting, torturous murderer of a great public servant, apparently. Joe Lamont, Luke's American burger with peanut butter and banana deep fried, served on a machete. Could be. Luke says, ha ha ha. Luke's American lines of Coke next to the burger on the blade surface. That's just what I eat. That's part of my medicine. I don't do drugs. Hey, Thompson, that's the Valley of Men. Oh, God, that's a cue to leave now. We're not going to the Valley of Men. Hey, Thompson, Doug, would you try DMT? I doubt it. I don't even know what that is. All right, there we go. Oh, boy, wasn't that great? Wasn't it fun? Did we all have fun? I would hope so. And I think we can all take a certain amount of appreciation in the simple fact that we aren't anything like those people, are we? And if you are, well, you'd best keep it to yourself. Although I'm not an attorney, but I do dress like one. I advise you to keep elements like that to yourself. Yeah. All right, everybody, have a good day or night, wherever you are, whatever. And we'll do it again soon. Let's see. Come on. Oh, here it is.
killing it, killing it, killing it, killing it. Nailsin News. 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 Where all the money go, ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. News. Where all the money go, ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News. News.